Imagine a world of tomorrow where everything is run on AI and algorithms. Robots are doing the negotiations in trade agreements. Robots and AI is working on everything, while humans are just lazing down in their couches all day. A world where subconsciously is lost, and the most important part, the communication between people but it has been right from the old Stone Age eras. And today I'll tell you a few concepts that I have personally noticed all my life and understanding how important is it to have a proper communication. We talk about between worlds, and these worlds always shape narratives. So today we'll be understanding how narratives actually shape the world. In mathematics, there's a concept called squares. When you multiply 2, it becomes 4. When you multiply 3, it becomes 9. And when you multiply 5, it becomes 25. The impact is exponential. But what if these words actually exponentially give you the impact? And that is how I personally came up with the square effect. It's the effect that I have always used in my communication skills. It's about how two different words come together to give a better output whenever needed. Let's first start with the I square. The I square is the impact between imagination and ideation. Now, of course, everybody imagines a story in their head. I also did. And it's always the stories that keep you in your mind that just grow and grow and grow. But those imagination needs a proper ideation. And when these ideations go on paper, people create narratives that actually shape the world. Imagine you have a fantastic idea, but it's very vague. It's out of the world. How do you bring it to this real world? It's when you pen down, it's when you write, and it's when you journal the idea. That is how ideations are built. And when you combine imagination and ideation together, it's an exponential impact. Let's talk about another square. It's the N square. When we talk about the N square, it's the most important one that I personally believe. It's networking and it's negotiation. Over the years, I've built a community, and it has been a fantastic time with the people I have always worked with. It's not because they came to me or I went to them for any particular reason. It was just to build connections. It was just to expand my horizon of networks. And this network has led me to a platform as big as TEDxThaltej. How do you network? Networking is not just professional, it's also personal. It's not how you take something out of them, but networking is always about what you can give them. And networking and connections last longest. A small story from my journey. Back in 2024, when I started my own community, I reached out to a few young fellow members of our city, and I told them, let's build a community where the youth actually comes down together instead of just being on the phone scrolling the internet, and build something genuine. And today we run a community more than 100 people where we organize events, and it's just the networking of people that exponentially expanded with one member bringing two bringing four bringing 8. But then how do you connect it with negotiations? Now, negotiations is not just when you bargain with people in terms of finances and numbers. It's how you negotiate your terms. It's how you negotiate your points with someone else. It's not just when it's professional. When you have a communication with someone, you negotiate. You negotiate on your points, and that is very important. And where do you actually negotiate? You negotiate with your network. You negotiate with the people around. You negotiate on your terms. This is how you build networking and negotiation to bring an exponential impact in the outer world. When we're talking about the outer world, let me take you to the inner world now. The next square effect, that is M square. Now, M square is totally about the inner world. Manifestation and meditation. While manifestation, we It's just about how you think, but it has a superior power involved in it. The moment you start manifesting is the moment you start putting out to the inner world and the universe that you want something and you want to achieve it. How do you do it? You do it when you first say it in your mind. The day you say you will achieve something is the day you have already half achieved it. Now when it's manifestation, it's inside your world and there's a rush in your brain cells. Everything all at once. Every time I step on any particular stage, addressing any gathering, addressing any people, or be it my friends, whether I have to step on a stage or in a classroom, I manifest. I manifest that I'll be the best person standing on the stage. And it actually works. But then it's a chaos in the brain because it's the brain cells rushing. How do you calm it down? You calm it down with meditation. And meditation is not just about inhaling and exhaling. And it's not about the yoga. It's more about how you calm your brain cells. It's how you structure your brain. It's how you calm down your blood cells. So that when you step up, when you speak, you have a calm and composed mind and body. This is about the inner world that actually gives results in the outer world. Talking next is about the C square, creation and communication. Now this is very dear to me because communication is very important right from the old age, the stone age to the world in AI. Be it humans communicating with each other, be it humans communicating with AI, or be it the AI communicating it with the AI. But the communication part alone does not suffice. You need a content, you need to create something to communicate. And that is where it goes hand in hand. Let me tell you a story. When I started my podcast, it was when I realized I like talking to people. I like communicating. And that is how I started creating content around it. If I like communication, why not commercialize it? And when we speak about commercialization, it's not about monetization of that communication. It's about reaching out to the wider network. And that is how you create something and you communicate. I'll give you another incident where creation came with communication. I like creating content, but then I realized the art, the dance, the drawing, any kind of artistic nature that I have in me always stood in my room, always was in that four walls. But how do I bring it out to the people? So when you create something, when you create any content, it needs to be communicated to the world, to commercialize, to present, and to shape the narratives that you want the world to see in your lens. Talking about next is direction and diplomacy. The most important one. It gives you structure. While diplomacy is the biggest point in communication, because when in a professional world, it gives you a space to negotiate your terms, to put your sentences and to frame your points and words in such a manner that it does not affect someone negatively. Someone else does not feel that they don't agree with me, even if you're not. And someone understands the points that you put forward. That is where diplomacy takes place. The most important is when you go into a professional world. But how do you give direction to that diplomacy? That comes with communication. That comes with talking to people. That comes with meeting new people. And that comes with structuring your thoughts when you actually manifest and meditate. Talking next is the most important one when we talk about connecting all these squares. It's the S square. Storytelling and simplicity. Imagine talking in numbers. I tell you, I come here and I'm like 2 plus 4 is equal to 6, 4, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15, some random numbers. Do you get it? It does not make sense. But imagine, I just start telling some random words. Moon, suns, buildings, jungle, animals. And suddenly there's a story in your mind. Suddenly everything is getting connected. So a good storyteller actually leads the world. Any story is your story, but a good story is everybody's story. Build on a story that people actually like, that people actually relate with, that people actually understand in a very easy language. And that is where we come with simplicity. You can't put jargons and difficult words when you talk to normal people, when you talk to your friends, when you talk to your family and relatives. That is how storytelling and simplicity together gives a very exponential impact. But this is a concept that I think works. What is something that is outside the box? It's the emotions. It's the connectivity with people that actually plays a very important role. How do you understand those emotions? And there's no framework to it. There's absolutely nothing to understand humans. It's just a heart-to-heart connection that you have with people. Today, if you're listening to me, because I come here with the intention to share something that actually creates value in your life. So the very first part in exploring narratives so that you can shape one of your own is to understand humans. Now, how do you understand humans? Humans can be understood very easily. It's through culture and it's through emotions. What is one thing that unites everybody? It's the cultures that they follow. It's the society that they live in. And it's the collectiveness that people have. How do you understand culture? This is the best part. You explore and you travel. This is very favorite of mine. Pack your bags, go to a station, go to an airport and take the next flight or the train. And you will actually start understanding people. You'll actually start understanding culture. I'll tell you a very interesting story. The first solo trip that I ever took was when I was 19. I packed my bags and I was very excited to leave my home and go to the railway station and catch my train. And I'll tell you, the whole cab I was just searching for places I'll be going to. The moment I stepped on my platform at the station, I saw my train and that train was filled with people. Enough that I could not even enter my train. And I was standing there at the platform, still. A 19-year-old, should he step in the train that is already overfilled, would he be able to manage it? And that's when a small inner calling came. Let's see what happens. What's the worst that can happen? I'll have to step out at any other station. No mind, I'll explore that particular city. But then I stepped in. It was jam-packed. I went to my seat. Some other person was already sleeping there. I told him, "Sir, this is my seat. Can I have it?" And genuinely it worked. I stood there for 2 minutes. Should I even tell him? Will he say no? What will I do? I'm just a kid. But he just stepped down and he was like, "Okay, you can have your seat." It's very simple. How did I do it? Communication. At 3 a.m. I still remember, it was already jam-packed. I could not step out. I could not go anywhere. I just had to sit at my place. And there was a station where many people just passed in from gates, from windows and everything. And I was again scared. A 19-year-old, what can he do at the middle of the night? But then I started talking to a person. I started understanding why is it getting so jam-packed that everybody has to enter this train. Are there no more trains? And that's when I got to know that this is because some of the trains got cancelled. I started talking, I started understanding his lifestyle, I started understanding it was people, they have come from the eastern parts of the country and they were just going back home because it was a festival. I started understanding their culture. I started talking to them about their festival. I started talking to them about their community and the work they have done in this part of the world. And why is it that everybody is so excited and it's so important for them to go to that? The whole night's journey, it was just talking to a random stranger at a place where I was all alone. But that was the experience that interested me. And that is how I began my journey of traveling and exploring. And that is how I built the narratives that I shaped. In the end, I would like to leave everybody with just one sentence. Always remember, always, it's either you shape the narratives that shape the world, or you just narrate the narratives that shape the world. Thank you.